welcome back to Foxy TV. On this episode, we are talking about 5 ways you can prepare your home for sale. The week here at Foxy has been a big one with 11 installs and a bunch of pack-ups thrown in there too. On Tuesday, I spent the day out and about at 3 different installs with 3 different styles. So make sure you're watching next week's Foxy TV episode as we're going to walk you through these 3 installs and show you the different styles and how they turned out. And also thank you to those who submitted questions through Instagram for a Q&A. We were looking to do it this week's episode, but we're not. We're going to push that back to next week as well. So this week's episode is a bit of a shorter one, as most of the footage I got will be used in next week's episode. But this episode is important nonetheless, as we're going to head out here to the warehouse just behind me here to talk about 5 ways you can prepare your home for sale.
Our 5 top tips in getting what you need to do as a homeowner and getting your home ready to go to sale. So to be absolutely honest, most of this conversation happens between the homeowner and the agent before we even arrive. So we are finding that agents are across this pretty much 100%. But if you're about to sell your home and you're doing research, what do we recommend you need to have done before we get there to style the property for sale? So on the day we normally style, we have photography. So this is getting everything ready before the sort of D-Day. So I'm gonna start from 5 and count down. So number 5, and probably something you need to think about right at the very start, is doing any sort of cosmetic renovation. So do you need to repaint? Do you need to recarpet? Is the styling going to be enough to distract from, in an investment property where you've got some marks on the wall, is the styling enough to distract from those little marks? Or do you actually need to invest maybe the $5,000 to $7,000 to actually do a full internal paint? Do you need an external paint? Does the house need to be washed, have a wash before you do that sort of thing? So those sort of bigger scale ticket items that take about 2 to 3 weeks to complete and need to book a tradie in to do. So do you need gutter work, any of those sort of things? That's what I would classify as a cosmetic renovation. Next step down from that is your smaller odd jobs that you've been putting off for a long time. So do you need to switch out your taps? Do you need to switch out the washer and the taps so they stop dripping? Do you have a drip in your gutter whenever it rains, it drips? Do you need to get that filled? Do you need to resand and refresh your front door, put a door knocker in? Do you need new doorknobs on all of your internal doors, or even just a refresh on the door handles in the kitchen? So tick off all of those odd jobs, and when you do them, you'll be like, why didn't I do this earlier? The next step, so this is as we go down, biggest to smallest. So biggest to sort of the smallest as far as the input that's needed from you. So number 3, declutter your home. So if you are still going to be living in the property while you're selling, you need to declutter. Everybody, it doesn't matter how minimal you live, over a period of time that you've been living in a house, you've been in it for 30 years, those cupboards are all going to be full. It's really amazing how much stuff we accumulate, especially having a family in those homes, and a lot of personal items. So take off the photos off the walls, take those cookbooks out of the bookshelves and all those odd ends in the kitchen, put away those mixing bowls and the salt shakers and the oil bottles and all those bits and bobs. Get them off the benches, clear off the benches and put them away as well as you can. So kind of goes hand in hand with decluttering, because you'll probably do it as you go. But number 2 for me is a really good clean of the house. And it really, honestly, it's worth investing in getting somebody through to do what we call a bond clean, where they come and do a full clean of all the cupboards, your cutlery drawers, the internal of all of your wardrobes. All the walls get a wipe down, especially if they haven't been painted. The water stains coming off all the shower screens, making it feel like it looks brand new, but also smells brand new. So we're playing on all of those senses when a buyer comes through the home. So that's down to number 1, and I'd be very silly if I didn't say to get a home stylist, home stager through to come and style your property ready for sale. So what we do is then take all of those 4 points and then we use them to our advantage to make sure that your home presents absolutely beautifully it feels sparkly, it feels fresh, then it also appeals to the full audience. Everybody loves what they're walking in and seeing. Your house is then memorable for all of the right reasons. There's not a tick list, there's not a checklist, and people see, I need to spend money on these 5 things to get it ready to live in. Oh, I can negotiate on price. That's now out of their mind because everything is move-in ready and it's ready for them to make your home their home. So that's our recommendation.
So there you have it, 5 ways you can prepare your home for sale. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. A little bit shorter as we mentioned, but next week, make sure you check in as we will be taking you through this week on Tuesday, the 3 we went through and the 3 different style of homes. So it'll be a good one, as well as some Q&A. So enjoy the rest of your week or weekend, wherever you're watching from, and we'll catch you next week.